I'm heading out, man. You want to ride?
No, I got my car, but I actually really need to go to the bathroom.
Dude, are you okay?
I am definitely buzzed.
Yeah.
I think I will take this, and I will take that ride home.
Welcome to the 34 Motorsports Product Showcase. We're proud to offer the full line of Simpson Racing safety products. The Shark Speedway is a perfect brain bucket to keep your melon as safe as possible. We carry every model and size of Hans device, and these have saved countless lives. The Hybrid Pro Lite is an alternative to the Hans device and is just as effective. The DNA 3-layer suit offers maximum protection when things get hot. And hey, dude, those comfy shoes won't help one bit when things go south. Keep those hands ready to work with a pair of Vortex FIA gloves meeting every current standard. From 5 to 7 points, we carry every one of the Simpson harnesses, keeping your rear end right where it should be. Keep all your gear clean and together with the helmet and FHR bag, and always be ready to hop in a race car. Visit 34motorsports.com and order today.
I'm Ryan Newman, and since I started with Indiana Donor Network and Driven to Save Lives, I found out that some people think that they can't be an organ donor. The truth is, anyone can sign up to be an organ donor.
Anyone?
Anyone?
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm sure. Anyone can sign up to be an organ donor. So don't count yourself out because somebody's counting on you. Go to driventosavelives.org and sign up today.
But my heart's going to you, Ryan.
Love that shirt.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another night of iRacing action here on the National Racing Network. My name is Chris Graham alongside Mr. James Watson here in the booth. It is time for another Tear It Up Tuesday coming to you from the Williams Grove Speedway half-mile paperclip located in the heart of sprint car country, Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania. Tell you what, James, we've seen some pretty good racing out of these guys over the last handful of weeks. A little bit lighter field than we might have hoped for 1 week ago. Not the case tonight. Good, solid 20-car field, and really should be very, very competitive.
Yeah, I'm really interested to see how this one goes. Williams Grove always puts together great races, and this is a pretty different track than what we're used to seeing from the beginning of the season so far. I'm really interested to see how everyone does, and if anyone catches the break in the fence and the back straightaway. That's what I want to see.
Yeah, that's going to lead to some absolutely wild rides if those types of incidents happen here tonight, especially if you get multiple cars involved. And he did not win 1 week ago, but the guy who's been at the top of the board tonight, currently sitting second on the speed chart, Felix Roy, in at a 20.789 second lap. James Ben's going to be your quick timer here in practice at a 20.735. Following the practice session here that'll be over in just a couple of minutes will be single car qualifying. Top 6 will lock into the show and invert. So you're really trying to qualify 6th if you want to start on the pole. One of the interesting things here, James, and why qualifying 6th could be really important as this night goes on, it sounds like this racetrack is going to be untouched the entire night. It's already slick and tough to get through the corners. It's going to be terrible by the time we get to the features.
This is going to be terrible. This is going to be an asphalt track. There's not going to be any grip whatsoever. I feel like you have better grip driving on ice all the way up in Antarctica, all the way down in Antarctica. Wow. I know geography, everybody.
That boy's a college graduate over here. Well,
yeah.
Working on it anyway. That's fantastic.
Anyways.
Moving on.
Yeah. basically, everyone is going to be in for a really tough race with how destroyed this track is going to be. So good luck to everyone trying to make any sort of passing maneuver.
And that's something that the drivers have asked for. They like the dry, slick racetracks. The consensus seems to be that it turns things into a driver's racetrack. You really have to work car control very, very hard. But the other part of it is finding what line is going to come back in and when is the other real big key here when we get to the feature.
Yeah, I'm really curious to see how these guys are going to deal with this track, especially towards the end of the race. We've said it a million times this season already, but slide jobs galore.
Taking a look here at the point standings as we head into tonight's race. Felix Roy still on top, but it is getting tighter. Jim Boniface now being scored only 14 points back after getting the win 1 week ago. Gavin Krupp, James Coslow, Drew Boniface, your top five, but the gap from first to second might only be 14. First to third, 48 points. It is a long way to go. We could be down to a two-horse race here, James, already hitting the halfway point of the season when we're concluding tonight. Then we head off to Eldora, Knoxville, Charlotte, three big, bad, fast racetracks. Then Kokomo, Cedar Lake, and Fairbury to close out the season. If you're going to get any work done, you better get it done soon.
Yeah, you're running out of opportunities to bring home those points. I kind of be surprised if anyone else can mount a serious charge for the championship right now. It really seems like those two are far and away the top. I'm not counting anyone out. I'd like to see it, but they've got to move. They're going to want to make it.
Let's pick up the 91 of Felix Roy as he gets out onto the racetrack. He has been spectacularly quick all season. If there's a guy that this dry, slick track is going to benefit here tonight, it is Felix Roy. Great crowd up here on Beer Hill in turn 3. I can't believe nobody's ever put a camera there in the real world. Such a fantastic look there. Lap number 1 getting ready to go on the board here as Roy makes his way off of turn 2 down the back straightaway. Camera mounted up on the bridge that crosses over the back stretch. That's another one, is watching somebody launch off and into the bridge is always kind of comical here on iRacing. See what lap 1 is going to be for Felix Roy, and it is quick time. 21.20 seconds. 21.20. Gavin Krupp going to be second quick. Now Alex Kollenich jumps up to the second position, knocking Krupp back to third. Now Zach Weisenflue jumps to third. How about James Coslow moving up inside the top three? 21.370 the lap time for Coslow. No improvement for Felix Roy. 21.203 will be the lap of record. Across the line will be Alex Kollenich. He's going to conclude his run. Let's pick up new name out here on the Speedway. This is JT Ferry in the number 18, working lap number 1. Not a bad looking paint job on that number 18 machine. See what JT going to be able to do off of turn number 4. He's going to be 4/10ths back at a 21.616. That'll put him in the 10th position. Adam Bouchelle moving up the second quick on the board at a 21.218, but still 15 thousandths off of what Felix Roy's quick time was. Jax Yawn moving up to 5th at a 21.279. Not a bad lap there. Ferry going to move up to 9th. See what Jax Yawn can do off of turn number 4. He will see the checkered flag for his qualifying run. Be the last car to take time. Jax Yawn going to stay at a 21.279. And that will wrap up qualifications. They're going to be done in a hurry. Show you the results from qualifying. Your top 6 locking into tonight's feature. That will be Felix Roy, Adam Bouchelle, Alex Kollenich, Jim Boniface, Jax Yawn, and James Coslow. Only about a tenth and a half separating your top 6. James Coslow and Jax Yawn will make up the front row for tonight's feature event. Starting grid for heat race number 1, moving out onto the racetrack now, and it'll be Gavin Krupp and JT Ferry on row number 1. Logan Dottonville and Jeff Kemp on row 2. Ryan Heckman, Harold Klump on row 3. Row number 4 will be all alone there for James Roselli. Field will get a couple of laps here behind the iRacing safety car. And James, what are you, when you're starting up here in these heat races, you know you didn't have the speed to lock in, you know the racetrack's only going to get worse. I would imagine you feel like this is probably a pretty valuable learning experience, though, to see how the track may run in over the course of the night.
Oh, absolutely. It's pretty much the only advantage you have of not qualifying to the feature straight away, is that you know what you're going to be getting for the feature and a little later in the feature as well.
So field making their way past the start-finish line the first time here. They will go green next time by. Pace truck will dive in at the entry to turn number 3. Pretty early, almost a difficult pit lane to get onto here at Williams Grove. Coming right at you from the camera mounted up here on the bridge. Eight laps the distance tonight in the heat races. Everybody transfers. This will line up the inside rows for tonight's feature event. Fields off at turn number 4. Green flags in the air. We're underway here in heat race number 1. Krupp going to slide up the racetrack in front of JT Ferry. Ferry not able to get the bite off the corner. Here he comes making the look down to the inside. Big time door slam by Krupp. He slides it all the way out to the wall. Ferry going to get the good run off the bottom of the corner. Side by side, Gavin Krupp will lead lap number 1 by 2 car lengths. After a great performance 1 week ago by Ryan Heckman coming home in the top 3, currently being scored 5th in this heat race here. And you're, with not having any track work going on here tonight, James, you really can't start the feature from way deep in this field.
Not unless you're really gifted at slide jobs, or you have some really innate ability.
Oh, big into the wall, JT Ferry. Ferry bounces it off the turn 4 retaining wall. He's going to go all the way to the back of the field. Little bit of a waggle there for the 57 of Logan Dottonville as well. Dottonville's going to have Harold Klump working to his inside. Ferry able to get around James Roselli, but he's going to be stuck back there in 6th. Now working lap number 5 of 8. Oh, they're making contact 3 wide into turn number 1.
Wow, 76 was able to make the real inside line work there pretty well.
I'll tell you what, you don't sleep on Harold Klump here. The guy's pretty consistent, and he may not be up front contending to beat Felix Roy, but he's always going to be around at the end of the race. Currently, Gavin Krupp still your race leader. Man, they're still making contact back there. Klump and Dottonville. Oh, big hit for Heckman. He's upside down. Huge incident for Ryan Heckman. Let's get you the instant replay here. Into turn number 3. Just got it up a little bit too high. Got up into the outside wall. Up and over he goes, and a huge hit from JT Ferry. Bringing things back here. White flag is out. 1 lap to go. Gavin Krupp still your race leader. Harold Klump now falling back to the 6th position, but this one has been all about Gavin Krupp making his way off at turn number 4. Checkered flag will go in the air. Heat race number 1 will go to Gavin Krupp. Jeff Kemp going to come home second, JT Ferry third, Logan Dontonville fourth, and James Roselli rounding out the top 5. That means Krupp will start on the inside of road number 4. Grid for our second and final heat race coming up here tonight. Zach Weisenflew and Connor Mirabelli on the front row. Jasper Zigafus and Drew Boniface on row number 2. James Benz and P. Bizzle on row 3. Johnny Fagello going to be all alone there on row number 4. Want to remind everybody about the NRN Give Back. Any donations sent in to us via PayPal or Venmo at National Racing Network, or that are contributed directly to the streams in the form of super chats, memberships on YouTube, or subscriptions, memberships, and all that fun stuff on Twitch, we're giving 10% of that back to the drivers in this series at the conclusion of the season. Also giving 10% back to the promoters of the event to help them defer some of the cost of the next season's broadcast. Ryan Heckman saying hard charger award. Maybe. Tried it last week and won it. See what he can do this week. We'll come down over the start-finish line and get the 1-to-go signal here. So, James, any surprise here to see the cars at the front starting to run away with this, with how the racetrack, I mean, you can see it. It's already dark, almost bottom to top.
No, because they have the advantage of being able to just focus on themselves and focus on the track, where the cars behind, they have to try to figure out what line is going to work to try to get around. And naturally, that's going to make you a little slower because you're having to try out a bunch of different lines that are probably not going to work. Where the cars up front, they know the outside is the best place to be.
Green flag goes in the air here on heat race number 2, and it will be Zach Weisenflew grabbing the early lead. Side-by-side battle just back behind Drew Boniface, Connor Mirabelli off at 2. Boniface quickly up to third. Now he's going to go for second, try to get to the inside of Jasper Zigafus. Big trouble back in the pack. We've got one up and over. That may be Connor Mirabelli. Let's get you the instant replay on this one. See what happened to Bizzle, James Benz, and the 0-1 of Mirabelli down the backstretch. Oh, 9 started to go around. Bizzle finished him off. And the 9 of Mirabelli spins it around. We go back to the green flag look here. Only Mirabelli going to be out of this race. Zach Weisenflew having to battle with Drew Boniface and Jasper Zigafus for the race lead. Seeing Johnny Fagello also going to be in the pit lane. So Fagello and Mirabelli will finish 6th and 7th. They will start from the back of the grid. Boniface, a little bit of contact there with Zigafus. Some right side romance slides him up the racetrack. Put Drew Boniface up to P2. Cross flags are out halfway home here in heat race number 2.
Ooh.
Oh, man, he tried the slider. Zigafus just not enough room to get it done. Now Boniface going to clear off the slider line. Kind of threw a soft slider on himself almost. Zigafus going to try the big slider again into 1 and 2. Slides it up the racetrack. He makes contact with Boniface, middle of 2. 202 gets the good run down the backstretch. Holds on to second. Continues to put pressure on Weisenflew for the lead. Oh, there's contact. Oh, they're beating each other again.
This is getting nasty.
Elbows out. dukes up off of turn 2 last time. White flag is out, 1 lap to go. Weisenflew holding on. Big slider again from Zingafus. Oh, and he got it done! What a slider by Jasper Zingafus into 1 and 2. Puts Drew Boniface back to 3rd. Boniface going to work on the high side of the racetrack, makes contact with the outside wall. That'll give up the spot. Checkered flag in the air. Zach Weisenflew gets the win. In heat race number 2, Jasper Zingafus comes home 2nd. Drew Boniface 3rd, James Benson 4th. P. Bizzle rounding out your top 5. Well, that was fun.
That was.
Definitely something I could get behind.
Yeah, let's hope we see more of that.
All right, everybody. Well, they are going to the quick warm-up session here, so we're going to get the commercial break out of the way, say the thank you to our sponsors and the fine folks that make these broadcasts happen. You are watching Tear It Up Tuesday right here on the National Racing Network.
If there's one thing every car guy hates, it's cleaning the garage. Do you want to take most of the time and hassle out of that job? Then call Zone Garage of Eastern Pennsylvania and New Jersey. Agnes and her crew will have your garage, shop, basement, or even your porch looking great all the time. With unique patterns and designs, plus the ability to incorporate your logo or any artwork, your space will never have looked better. Installation is done in 1 day, guaranteed, and Zone Garage offers a 20-year warranty on the top coat. Their coatings are durable, anti-slipped, and impact resistant. Give them a call at 570-856-6067. That's 570-856-6067 for Zone Garage of Eastern Pennsylvania and New Jersey.
Invasive species are one of the biggest issues facing our natural resources and the environment today. Think of things like Dutch elm disease, the spotted lanternfly, and cats. Perhaps the most dangerous of these is the Homo caput stercoris, commonly referred to as the front plater. An invasive species coming from New York, New Jersey, and anywhere else that has a license plate on the front of their car. The biggest threat from this pest is the spread of excrement. These savages cause harm to many native species and have even spawned an entirely new one, the Beltsville lake monster. Here at the DeWeather Institute for Climate Knowledge, we have a dedicated group of volunteers working tirelessly to clean up the mess. The team of emergency responders for dispersion and skimming, or the turds. But the job is just too big, and we can't do it without your help. So be a hero, be a turd. All right, everybody, welcome back here at Williams Grove Speedway. Let's take a look at the weather conditions for tonight, presented by our friends at DeWeather Center. Offensively accurate weather for Eastern Pennsylvania. 80-degree ambient temperature. Winds going to be out of the southeast at 10 miles an hour. 74-degree track temperature. But I'll tell you what, James, with that much of a breeze, what was already going to be a drying racetrack is really going to slick off here by the end of this thing.
Yeah, that's exactly what everyone wanted. An even worse track. Although apparently that's actually what they wanted, which is why we have a pretty terrible track. So your mileage may vary, I guess?
Well, I think there is something to be said for driver skill playing a larger role in things, and judging by the looks of it, I think they did some track work here, because we're not seeing nearly as much of the dark stuff down on the inside of the racetrack.
No, it actually looks pretty well put together. Yeah, they definitely reset it. Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to watch here, but now it is time for feature time to get out onto the starting grid, and let's bring you tonight's starting grid for Tear It Up Tuesday, presented by Snydersville Raceway. James Koslow and Jax Yawn going to make up row number 1. Jim Boniface and Alex Kolinix in row number 2. Adam Bouchelle and Felix Roy on row 3. Roy was your quick timer tonight with the 6-car invert. That drops him back to the 6th position. Row number 4, Gavin Krupp and Zach Weisenflew. Jeff Kemp and Jasper Zigafus on row number 5. JT Ferry and Drew Boniface will occupy the 6th row this evening. Row number 7 will belong to Logan Dontonville and James Benz. Row 8, James Roselli and P. Bizzle. Row number 9, Harold Klump and Connor Mirabelli. Row 10, Ryan Heckman and Johnny Fugello complete our 20-car starting grid, and 60 laps the distance here at Williams Grove. A couple of weeks ago, James, we saw an almost 40-lap green flag run. Do we see something similar here tonight?
I mean, I'd be inclined to say no, but given how clean last week was with how tight of a track, apparently anything is possible.
Yeah, the driving the last 2 weeks has been really, really good. Seeing Ryan Heckman checking in the comments here. Here we go, Chris. It's go time. Yes, it is. Field will make their way under the bridge, down the back straightaway. Field comes off at turn number 4. Green flags in the air. We're underway here at Williams Grove. Oh, man, already beating and banging into the corners. Jack's Yawn throwing a big-time block. Big contact to the front. Yawn's going to go around. Huge wreck down the front straightaway. Put it out. Wad 'em up. Good Lord.
I told you the likelihood of a green flag run wasn't that high. We didn't even make it a lap, folks.
Yeah, and there are a ton of race cars that are involved in this. Show you this one from the wide view here. All started with a little bit of contact into turns 3 and 4.
Oh, yeah.
Jack's Yawn going around. Big time hit there. Almost the entire inside lane getting junked in this one. And this really is going to shake up the lineup in a huge way. Felix Roy was making up some ground. He's going to be stuck back in 4th here on the restart. Alex Kolinix and Jim Boniface will occupy row number 1 for the restart. Zach Weisenflew and Felix Roy on row 2. Jasper Zigafus already up 5, as is Drew Boniface. They'll be on row number 3. Somehow Gavin Krupp did not move a position in all of that jostling. He will restart 7th alongside Adam Bouchelle. Jack's Yawn, who was the leader off of turn number 4, going to restart 9th alongside the 10 of Jeff Kemp. And we still don't know if there's going to be any penalties here from race control. It looks like the lineup is good and the lights are out on the iRacing safety car.
Yeah, that didn't really look like anything intentional or malicious, just 3 guys going for the same piece of real estate.
Yeah, that's one of the things. The rule that they use in the Snydersville iRacing League is the same as they use at Snydersville in the real world. 2 cars make contact and somebody goes to the back, they're both going to the back. And it looks like we are going to go back to green. It's an ugly start, but Alex Kolinix going to jump out to the race lead. Did we have one going up and over? We did. We've got another pile up.
Oh, my Lord.
They're going to junk him again into turn 1. And since we didn't get a lap in the books, that will make this next one a single file restart. This really started with the games going on the front row, though. got everybody sort of bunched up. Oh, Jack's yawn. Big time hip check into the 51 of Jeff Kemp. Sends Kemp up and over. Looks like the 98 of James Roselli was involved in that as well, but that was big-time contact there from Jack's yawn on corner entry. Keep your eye down on the bottom of the racetrack. That purple number 24 may have made contact with the car in front of him on corner entry. Kind of shot him up the racetrack, but irregardless, we'll see if race control can get us word in the Discord here of if there will be any penalties on the caution flags. So now working lap number 8 of 60. The lights are out on the iRacing safety car. We still have not worked a full green flag lap yet. Maybe one at this point, I guess.
Hearing a EOL for the 12 car of Jack's Yawn.
Yeah, there's the word from race control there. Car 12 EOL, end of the line for contact. Green flag going to go back in the air. And it'll be Alex Kolinix. If we're watching for Felix Roy, he's still back there in the 4th position. Now you can really start to see the slick starting to come back in. You wonder if that's catching some of these drivers out early as Kolinix able to hold on to the race lead, slide back just a little bit. Zach Weisenflew trying to get to the outside of Jim Boniface and hold off Felix Roy at the same time. That's not an easy task. 1 and 2 with the points are right behind you and right in front of you, and your job is to pass the point leader and keep second in points behind you.
He is quite literally stuck between a rock and a hard place.
Yeah, you can absolutely say that. Tell you what, Felix Roy better be careful here. He's going to have the 202 of Drew Boniface peeking to his outside. Roy able to hold on to that spot down to the inside of the racetrack, but here comes Drew Boniface up on the high side. He's found some grip up top. Going to get the huge run down the straightaway. That's what I love about watching racing at Williams Grove. You think the inside lane has it until they get about halfway down the straightaway, and the momentum finally catches up with that car on the top side, and they just take off like a rocket.
Yeah, it's one of the better tracks that put on that type of racing. I really think the long straightaways really help with dealing with the momentum you get rolling the top side.
And there are very few things in the world like listening to a 410 sprint car scream down the front straightaway at Williams Grove. It'll give you chills, that's for sure. Drew Boniface
got that right.
Oh, and Roy's up and over! He's out of the ballpark! Felix Roy yard sails it in turn 1. Yellow flag quickly out on the racetrack. Oh, my goodness. That is a killer for Felix Roy.
He is here!
Keep an eye on the 71 of, I believe that was, that was Jasper Zigafus Oh, my goodness. Big old hip check on the Felix Roy, and he yard sailed him.
Wow, I'm speechless. That is huge turn of events.
I tell you what, that completely changes the complexion of this championship and this race. It was the way the points are structured, it was never going to be a big swing unless Felix had a DNF, and an early DNF at this point. They do obviously have the quick repairs and some of that stuff available to them. However, still, that is going to be huge. If you're Jim Boniface, you almost have to drive this race now just to hold on to second. The win almost doesn't mean as much as we see the EOL penalty come in for the 71 of Jasper Zigafus. He will restart at the end of the line. Man, does that change things, though.
Yeah, this. Oh, man.
Several hard chargers in this race already. Drew Boniface up 8 spots to run in the 4th position. Your hard charger of the race right now is the 76 of Harold Klump. He is up 9 to run in the 8th position. Ryan Heckman also up 9. He currently runs 10th. Connor Mirabelli, Johnny Fagello running 12th and 13th. They are up 6 and 7 positions respectively. We're going to see the pace truck pull in and field to go under the control of Alex Kolinix. Again, going to bring him down very slowly. The Colton Herta School of Restarts bunched the entire field up exceedingly slow. We'll see how many times race control will let them get away with that. But at this point, we stay green. Jack Shaw and Ryan Heckman were battling there. A little bit of contact between Heckman and Yawn off at turn number 4. Yawn going to be able to clear Heckman. Just up ahead, Harold Klump. James Coslow battling for 8th. Coslow tried the slider, had to back out of it. Good battle going on now for 3rd. Zach Weisenflew trying to hold off Drew Boniface. Yellow flag is out. Caution on the speedway. This will be our 4th yellow of the evening. See what happened here. Looks like the 98 getting a little bit out of shape off the exit of 2. Oh, just way deep into the corner. That got him spun around. And then I believe there may have been a little bit more going on here in turns 1 and 2. Zigafus throwing the big time dive bomb into 3 and 4. A couple of cars going around. Oh, that was a big hit. Happened up ahead of this incident, actually. May have been Logan Dontonville. Yeah, it looks like it was. See what happened to Logan here, battling with the 51. Just got it up into the outside wall, nowhere for the rest of the field to go. And that's going to get several cars upside down and back on the racetrack. I'll tell you what, for Zach Weisenflew, he gained a little bit because of some attrition in some of the early incidents. But he's done a nice job of holding these guys off. Drew Boniface still back behind him. Gavin Krupp, Adam Bouchelle, James Benz. These are some pretty quick cars here back behind Zach Weisenflew.
Yeah, I want to see if he can hold these guys off. This is an absolutely great run for him.
So lights are out on the iRacing safety truck. We're going to get ready to go back to green flag racing here, almost to the halfway point. Only 13 minutes into this one, so it hasn't been real long. The racing has been good when we've had the green flag runs, and Alex Kolinick's doing a nice job. He's going to hold on to the race lead. Jim Boniface makes the big dive into turn one. Nice job. Tell you what, Boniface making the bottom work there. A little bit surprising. You see how slick it is. Oh, there's contact. Boniface goes around. They're beating doors off the corner. Caution is out. Jim Boniface going to fall back to about the 5th position. Drew Boniface goes around. And that's going to put us under the caution here for the 5th time tonight. Big time contact there. Drew Boniface gets the car looped around. Nowhere to go. Stopped in front of the field race control with no choice but to throw the yellow flag there. So again, we'll await the call to see if there's any penalties. I doubt there would be. And James, that was really a couple of big sliders, almost over driving turn 3. There's a difference between driving it deep and over driving the corner.
Yeah, we're starting to see that a little more tonight, which is kind of weird. This whole race is really strange. A lot of jaw-dropping moments so far. Like, it's one of those chaos races that you come across every once in a while where you just see all the top guys just, like, beat up on each other and knock themselves out of it. I wonder if we might end up seeing a surprise winner here.
And would the surprise winner be Felix Roy if he's able to get back on the lead lap? He got a lucky dog this last time around. So that's going to put him only 2 laps behind the race leaders. We could conceivably see a couple of more caution flags before we get to the end of this next 32 laps.
Only a couple more?
Well, the more cautions we have, the more chance for Felix Roy to really work his way up through the field. So once again, Alex Kolinick's really keeping the pace up much better that time. Green flag goes back in the air. Zach Weisenflew having a look on Gavin Krupp. Krupp way down to the inside, slides it up the racetrack. Weisenflew going to be right there down the backstretch. Jim Boniface thought about making the dive into turn 3. Wisely backs out of it there. He's going to sneak another peek down to the inside. Weisenflew holds on to the outside lane. And the 3rd position, Krupp throws the slider 1 and 2. Crossover by Weisenflew. Action good here at the front of the field. Weisenflew, Krupp, Boniface, Bouchelle, your top 4. All running together as one group. James Ben's going to be there as well. Just back behind, Jax Yawn battling with James Coslow. Yawn has already had an EOL penalty here tonight. Tries to go up the middle. Coslow back down to the inside. Heckman has to back out topside. Oh, man, what a battle we have going for second now. Weisenflew, Boniface, and Krupp all under a blanket. Bouchelle with a great view of it.
This is turning into a slugfest.
And I am here for it. Let's go on board with Adam Bouchelle.
I think Felix might have had some more
Yellow,
issues.
yellow. Trouble on the racetrack. And looks like may have been Felix Roy and Drew Boniface. See what happened here off the corner. Roy just had to get checked up.
Oh.
Contact from Drew Boniface. Nowhere for Boniface really to go either. But now Felix has to take the tow back into the pit area, and his night may be done. Felix Roy is out of the race car and currently scored in the 19th position. Oh, buddy, this could be interesting. Again, await the call from race control on any penalties. Have not seen anything just yet. Green flag back in the air. Kolinic, Weisenflue, Boniface, Krupp, Bouchelle going to lead him once again to turn one. Weisenflue not close enough on the inside. That opens up the door for Jim Boniface to have the peak. Weisenflue slams the door closed. Boniface has to back out. That opens the door big time for Krupp. Contact! Weisenflue almost goes around. Koslow gets up into Weisenflue. Oh, what a heartbreaker for Zach Weisenflue. That car was so good at the front of the field. Take a look at what happened here. Weisenflue just got a great run, made contact with Kolinic, pinballed around, and up and over he went off of James Koslow. Another one of those. We talk about the penalties only because they have the contact rule, but the reality here is, James, we're seeing a lot of cars going around just because of hard racing.
Yeah, a lot of inconsequential contact. Again, nothing malicious, no real big mistakes, just rubbing his racing and it working out bad for the parties involved.
So Jasper Zigafus, last car on the racetrack, being scored 3 laps behind the leaders. Drew Boniface, the last car on the lead lap now, well, with Zach Weisenflue now back there in the 17th position. So may have been a penalty call here on the 202 of Boniface. We will await word from race control. So yeah, no penalty. Drew Boniface just going to be back there at the tail end of the field. Man, we are going to see a different winner tonight. It'll be Alex Kolinic, Jim Boniface, Gavin Krupp, Adam Bouchelle, James Benz, your top 5. Krupp going to make the big move into turn number 1, getting it down to the inside of the racetrack. Waves that left front tire at the photographers in the infield. Good start for Kolinic. He's going to have a 2-car length lead. Boniface and Krupp side by side off of 4.
Honestly, I think both of them might be faster than our race leader. They're just fighting so hard with each other that they're letting Alex just be able to drive away that little bit.
Yeah, Alex Kolinic out to we'll call it a half-second lead here over Boniface and Krupp, as we've gotten one of the longer green flag runs of the night in here now. The battle's going to continue to rage. The gap continues to sit at about 6/10, first to second. It's so hard to play the patience game when you're Gavin Krupp or Jim Boniface, especially when you can still see the race leader.
Yeah,
but knowing that you have to knock the battle off to catch them, it just has to be frustrating.
Yeah, like one lap after finally settling it, and they're right behind Alex again.
Leads down to 4/10. I'll tell you what, Gavin Krupp is hooked up on the inside of this racetrack, running the Lance DeWeese line. Left front tire right about on the barriers the entire way through 3 and 4, and down against the Uke tires in 1 and 2. But that 5 machine is coming for the race lead. It'll be 15 to go next time by.
Looks like Alex might be able to copy what Gavin is doing.
The problem for Gavin Krupp is if you get the slightest bit too high, you hit the slick, and the car's just gone. You really have to back out of the throttle.
Yeah, this is intense. You gotta hit that mark perfectly lap after lap. And it looked like...
Oh, we're going to get a caution flag. Trouble on the racetrack. Looks like Jack's yawn had an issue. Drew Boniface also may have been involved in that. Let's take a look at the replay here. Jack's inside of Bizzle, slides it up the racetrack. Oh, big hit there. Just turned down on the 69. And that pushed him up into the outside of the racetrack. See what happened to Drew Boniface here as well. He was around that incident. Oh, and just got it up into the outside wall. Flips it over. So 2 different incidents here. Seeing Connor Mirabelli may have had an incident under yellow here as well. Well, there's a whole lot of beating and banging going on. And we've seen drivers lose positions. Just a couple of weeks ago, Paul Mancini knocked out of a podium finishing position. Looks like Mirabelli just slowing down to get in line with the field here, but Ryan Heckman letting us know in the comments he is up to 7th, plus 12 your hard charger of the race thus far. Some of that through hard work, some of that just through attrition of cars ahead of you. So coming around, 2:11 to go here at Williams Grove. Alex Kollenix, Gavin Krupp, and Jim Boniface going to run down into turn 1. They all stay right in line. Boniface cuts down towards the bottom. Oh, and Adam Bouchelle goes around.
There's another one.
Yellow flag is out once again, and this one is going to be significantly more difficult to adjudicate here. Keep your eye on the outside car, the 213 of Jim Boniface, trying to come down the racetrack and basically just flat ran over the 10 of Adam Bouchelle. The question is, could Boniface have seen that Bouchelle was even going to be there? I would imagine the spotter's calling that out to you in your ear, though.
Yeah, but the iRacing spotter could be a little iffy, especially since the 10's nose just appeared right there as the 213 was coming down. I think that's kind of a bit of a bang-bang play. I really don't think you could really put that on either car. They just wasn't expecting them to be right there at the same time.
Right, so then if you're going to play it by the contact rule, in theory, and this is just in theory, Jim Boniface would have to go to the back with Adam Bouchelle. We'll see if a penalty is issued or not. Well, it looks like they're going to put Adam Bouchelle up to 4th for the restart. And that is not technically an option that you are given in iRacing. However, an admin with the clear all button is going to be able to take care of that. Seeing an EOL for car number 51. Okay, the call was the 10 was not the reason for the caution. There was another incident on the racetrack. I don't even see it on our... here it is. This is the restart last time. It was the 51 of Jeff Kemp that was the reason for the caution. That explains a lot.
Yeah,
so they give Alex Kolonix the spot back.
Yeah, we were too busy looking at the incident with the 10 to actually notice that.
Oh, and there's more contact between Boniface and Bouchelle. Similar kind of deal. Good Lord, we're going to get another caution flag. Looks like JT Ferry and Johnny Fugello possibly having an issue here. The 18 of Ferry just gets it up into the wall. Nowhere for the 01 to go. Unfortunately, Johnny Fugello has to take the tow. Zach Weisenflug going to be able to get that car turned around. Now, we are going to be short on laps here coming back. We're already down to 5 to go. So the question really becomes here, can Jim Boniface do anything with Alex Kolonix and Gavin Krupp?
He has a chance, but he's got to take it fast. He does not have any time to wait around.
And quite frankly, we haven't seen it yet tonight. Not on outright pace that he's been either quicker through the corners, much quicker down the straightaways, anything like that. Really, everybody fairly evenly matched here at the front of the field. This one's going to be interesting to watch here. Let's give a shout out to some of our hard chargers. Ryan Heckman up 14, Harold Crump up 11, Bizzle's up 9. Again,
and
the attrition is helping, but yeah.
If I remember correctly, I think Bizzle's in the 358 mod too.
He would be in the 358 mod tonight. A little bit of a connection issue there for Adam Bouchelle. Big move down to the inside by Jim Boniface in the 213. Gavin Krupp going to try to keep that car wound up on the high side. Once again, everybody right back in line. Boniface searching for grip on the inside of the racetrack. How about it? Gavin Krupp getting around on the outside. We've got a good battle back in the pack here as well. Bizzle down to the inside of Klump. Bizzle now slides up to the outside of the racetrack. The 97 of Koslow bangs off the outside wall. White flag is out, 1 lap to go, and we've got a 3-car battle for the lead. Kolonix holds the lead off at 2. Krupp going to look outside. Kolonix will take away the slider line. Here comes Krupp flying around the outside. It's going to be a drag race to the line. Who's going to get it? Alex Kolonix gets the win at Williams Grove. Gavin Krupp, Jim Boniface round out your podium. How about Adam Bouchelle and Ryan Heckman completing your top 5? That was fun.
That was epic.
Great battle for the lead late in the race. Good battles throughout the field. And that one, plenty good on the excitement end of things. Kolonix almost flips it, trying to get the victory lane donuts turned here. Kolonix, Krupp, Boniface, Bouchelle, Heckman, your top 5 this evening. 6 through 10 will belong to Harold Klump, James Benz, P. Bizzle, James Koslow, and Drew Boniface. Jeff Kemp, James Roselli, Zach Weisenflug, Connor Mirabelli, and JT Ferry back through 15th. 16 to 20 tonight, Jasper Zigafus, Johnny Fugello, Jax Yawn, Felix Roy, and Logan Dontonville. The biggest story of the night Felix Roy finishing back there in the 19th position. That is absolutely insane, quite frankly, as we get ready for our Victory Lane interviews here. And we're going to start it off with your race winner, Mr. Alex Kolinix. And I'll tell you what, bud, that car looked really good. You were very good on those restarts all night. Tell us how you were able to keep that 22 machine up front.
Well, like you said right there, the restarts. That's the big part is, especially tonight. In practice, it was all around the bottom. Everybody was hooking it low, and I thought that's how the race was going to go. It was going to be hard to pass, but ended up running around the top, and that being the fast lane is what paranoid me, because if I got too close to the car behind on one of those restarts, he could easily throw a slider, which almost happened a couple restarts before the end. I was a little worried, but came away with it just good enough to nip enough of a lead to stay out front.
Yeah, that's a big part of this here is kind of being able to outsmart everybody that's around you here. And really, it was a pretty big night for you in points here, too. Felix having an issue, you're able to finish ahead of a lot of these guys that were up there in points. Really gives you a little bit of a confidence boost here as we head into the second half of the season.
For sure. I've been struggling so far, trying to get back my ways into dirt a lot. I mean, last time I really ran dirt consistently was when this series was up last year. And so trying to get back into the flow of it again has been a little rough, but I'm glad to take away this race with a win, and a win that's going to help me a lot in points here on out.
All right, bud. Well, congratulations once again on picking up the victory here on Tear It Up Tuesday. And let's make sure we get all the sponsor plugs and thank yous in before we let you out of here.
Oh, yeah, of course. I'm not sure if you all noticed tonight. Probably you did, because I was out front this time, but I had a bright, nice gold car this time. Thank you to the team owner for Guardian Esports, Andrew Cootie, who makes the paint schemes for me. And thank you for getting this out for this race. So I got to thank him specifically. And thanks to Dad to buying all this stuff, which I have here at my desk tonight, which allowed me to run this race at all. So that's people I got to thank tonight.
All right, Alex, thank you very much. We appreciate you checking in with us here. Let's pick up our runner-up tonight, Gavin Krupp. And I'll tell you what, Gavin, you really gave him hell every one of those last handful of restarts, and ultimately it seemed like the place was just going to be a little bit too tough to pass on.
Yeah, I think he ran a great race. You know, it was really fun. I love this track, and I just want to, yeah.
What's the thought process as you watched the track widen out the way it did? It seemed like you either had to be on the rail inside or on the fence outside. Was it really a matter of even the inside lane was just a complete no-go as well?
You know, Jim was running the bottom really well, through the middle of the race, and I tried the bottom. I think I was catching Alex a little bit. Then I tried the top at the end. Then I think top 3 and 4 was coming in. I don't think 1 and 2 was there.
Well, it was a lot of fun to watch you throughout the night here. The cars absolutely beat to hell on the right-hand side of that, and a little bit of damage on the left rear as well. So make sure you get the thing all patched up this week. Hopefully we'll see you back here next week, and make sure we get all your sponsor plugs and thank yous in here before we let you go.
Yeah, I want to thank Spuck Run Auto Sales, Green Mechanical, BHL Trucking, Greenland Auto Sales, and Specs Chicken.
All right, bud. Thank you very much. We appreciate you hanging out with us here a little bit tonight. And let's bring in our third place finisher tonight, a guy who perhaps had more to gain out of this night than anybody else, Mr. Jim Boniface. And I'll tell you what, Jim, when you saw that Felix had the issue and was not coming back on the racetrack, did the thought of second or third is okay cross your mind?
Not really. I always want to win, but it just didn't go as planned tonight.
As we look now towards the second half of the season, very likely to leave here with the points lead, or at least going to be really, really close to it. What's the biggest challenge in holding off guys like Felix, Gavin, Alex, our winner tonight? There's a lot of good talent behind you here in this series right now.
Yeah, I mean, for guys like Felix, you just need nights like tonight, it's got to go. It's got to go my way and not his way. I guess you could put it that way. A little disappointed in tonight. I think I had a winning car, but just the way it panned out.
Was that just a matter of the racetrack being too wide and it really only being very top, very bottom, that there really wasn't a whole lot of room to work a pass, it seemed like?
No, in the beginning I was on the leader pretty heavy. Definitely seemed a little defensive in the beginning. And then after one restart, my brother actually got into me. I lost a couple spots. Tried to work my way back up, and it was just didn't get enough green flag laps, I don't think, to really put on an awesome show.
All right, Jim. Well, congratulations on the top 3 finish here tonight. Let's make sure we get all those sponsor plugs and thank yous in.
Yeah, I want to thank Ken's Logging, All Phase Insulation, Elite Performance Industries for my open setups, and I want to thank you guys for the broadcast and everyone that puts this show on.
All right, Jim, thank you very much. We appreciate you checking in with us here. And, yeah, I'll tell you what, James, I think the sentiment there that we got from Jim was not enough green flag laps to get anything done. That really probably was the other big story of the night, was this race never really got into a rhythm.
No, it was it was entertaining if you like wrecks and big incidents, but yeah, it was tough to get an actual strategy for the drivers on what they needed to do, and Alex did a great job working with what he had and nailing those restarts to keep everyone behind. And good for Jim because like he said, when you have someone like Felix, you need to take advantage of those opportunities you get, because opportunities like that don't come very often. So good on Jim for taking what he needed and making this championship a little more interesting.
Yeah, that's putting it mildly for sure here. But yeah, we're getting ready for the 3 more races coming up here in the next 2 nights on the National Racing Network. Tomorrow night it'll be the Sim Racers Club, round number 3 from the Dover International Speedway down there in Delaware. That one is going to be a ton of fun, watching the next gen cars rip around there. Thursday night, the Grid Rival Ezra IndyCar Series and the Indy Pro 2000 Championship will run back-to-back starting at 8 p.m. in the East. A lot of racing coming up here over the next few days. This weekend we'll have live coverage throughout the weekend from the Motorsports Expo 2022 from the Greater Philadelphia Expo Center in Oaks, Pennsylvania. A lot of stories coming out of the Northeast. Don't want to miss that on the real world racing side of things. Then we're back Monday night with more Silver Crown racing action, and we'll be right back here again next Tuesday for Tear It Up Tuesday. For James Watson and everybody here at the National Racing Network, my name is Chris Graham. It's been a ton of fun having you hang out with us. We will talk to you all soon. Have a good night, everybody.